They say that the fox has an incredible ability to adapt to different environments. But in this story, we will see that it is not only the environment that the fox adapts to, but also its behavior, which can change depending on who it meets in the forest. Once upon a time in the lush green forest, there lived a clever fox. He was small in size, but very cunning and the fox could easily find his way around the thick and the thin, and no one could catch him off guard. One day, the clever fox was strolling through the forest when he came across a farmer's yard. The fox had often visited this place before. There were always delicious scraps of food to be found here. However, today the gate to the yard was locked, and the cunning fox had to find another source of food. As the sun began to set, the fox came across a house on the edge of the forest. The windows of the house were glowing with warm light, and the aroma of freshly cooked food was wafting through the air. The fox sat down under the tree and began to think about how to get some food from the house. Suddenly, a family of rabbits emerged from their holes. They, too, were looking for food and were eyeing the house. The clever fox quickly formulated a plan. He approached the rabbits and said, "Good evening. Excuse me for asking, but which is the way to the nearest stream?" The rabbits looked at the fox with suspicion. They knew that foxes usually had bad intentions when they asked for directions, but these were polite foxes. So the rabbits decided to answer this question. "We're going to the stream right now. You can come with us if you like," said one of the rabbits. The fox thanked the rabbit and started walking alongside them. When they were far enough away from the house, the fox suddenly pounced on the rabbits and caught one of them. The rabbits panicked and started hopping around the forest in all directions. The fox, satisfied with his dinner, ran after the rabbit. After a while, the clever fox returned to the same spot under the tree. He had eaten his fill and was licking his chops. Suddenly, he heard footsteps near the house. The fox thought to himself, "It's too early for the owner to return. Perhaps it's one of the farm animals." The fox decided to hide in the bushes until the person passed by. A young girl came out of the house. She was carrying a pail of milk and was humming a little tune. Seeing the fox, she got scared and started screaming, "A fox! A fox!" The clever fox was taken aback. He did not expect the girl to recognize him in the dark. Thinking quickly, the fox said, "Don't be afraid, little girl. I am not a ferocious wild animal who would harm you. I am a tame pet who has lost his way home. Please help me get back to my owner." The girl looked at the fox suspiciously. His fur was indeed a little messy, and his collar was torn. It looked like the fox had been through some hard times. The girl took pity on the poor animal and said, "All right, I will help you find your owner. But first, you must come with me. I have to take this milk back to the house." The fox nodded his head obediently and followed the girl. As soon as they reached the yard, the fox darted out from between the legs of the girl and disappeared into the bushes. The girl screamed, "Oh, what a sly fox!" and started to chase after him. The clever fox ran as fast as he could, but the girl was gaining on him. Suddenly, the fox remembered the rabbit hole where he had hidden earlier. He turned and jumped into the hole. The entrance to the burrow was very narrow, so the fox had to squeeze himself through it. The girl, seeing that the fox had entered the hole, ran to the other side and blocked the exit. Then she said in a loud voice, "Hey, you stupid fox! Don't even think about coming out. Otherwise, I will catch you and throw you into the river." The clever fox realized that he had nowhere to go, so he simply laid down and pretended to be very tired. The girl waited for a few minutes, but the fox did not try to escape. She thought to herself, "Perhaps he really is tired. I've never seen such a tame fox. Maybe someone's pet." The girl decided to take a chance. She crawled into the burrow and reached out her hand to stroke the fox. The clever fox closed his eyes and pretended to enjoy the touch. The girl picked up the fox and took him to the house. She gave him some water and some bread to eat. The fox, having regained his strength, licked the girl's hand and jumped out the window to escape. The girl cried out in surprise, but the fox was already gone. The next morning, the girl told her parents about her adventure. They were very proud of their daughter for being so brave, but they also warned her to be more careful in the future. After all, you never know what kind of animal you might meet in the forest.